Hello, everyone. This is Kathleen, and I'm happy to be here this morning to share this beautiful journal. It's finally finished. This is one of the two lost and found journals um, that I have made. It's with a recycled Reader's Digest. It has 4 signatures. It is 7 3 3/4 inch by 5.5 inches. And I'm calling this one Pastora. And I've just done this beautiful collage here on the front with this antique postcard. And I've done my usual button elastic closure with these pretty beads dangle. And this vintage brass button. And let's see, it has 176 pages. It has 4 signatures. Has 34 pockets and tucks, 23 pieces of real ephemera, and 16 pieces of handmade tags and journaling cards, papers, that kind of thing. So let's go in and see the inside. This is this initial page is a Tim Holtz page. This is just a handmade tag tuck. Let me get a card here, just with some collage here on that tag. Okay, here the initial pocket is a glassine bag, and I've just created this little altered guest check. Fits in the bag with some napkin decoupage and collage here. Pretty butterfly. This is one of the lost and found elements. This beautiful side cluster tuck. And I've just used this game sheet and done some coffee dye and stamping on that. This is some beautiful antique tatting. Yeah, handmade, just really lovely. So that is a tuck, and then I've created this this pocket. I've just sanded this beautiful rose hedge here and created this tag, journal tag. This also has some antique lace with a topper. This is a writing journal, so there's lots of room for writing and keeping notes. This is one of those May 2020. I'm almost out of this calendar now, and but it's fun to use that 2020 calendar. This is some beautiful antique ledger paper. This is just a journal card tuck that I've done some stenciling on, and it just goes over the edge of this paper. This is a vintage calendar page, and then I've just used this little Tim Holtz clip to hold everything on there. Move that up a little. Here's the center of the signature is just this beautiful book page, and embossed, sanded, distressed, just that pretty rose hedge. This is just a book page, vintage. Love the way that feels, and it's really fun to write on these book pages that come, you know, from the front and the back of the book. Some lace along the edge here and washi tape. Here's the other side of that pretty antique ledger. This is just a journaling card I made, and some seam binding tied to that paper clip. It's a belly band. And this is a beautiful vintage notebook paper. It's got really pretty patina around the edges, and just another little funny piece of ephemera. I just loved this illustration on this book page, and there's lots of room in the margins here to journal. This is a handmade tag. We've just done some hand stitching on that. It fits down in here. Just some faux tape. Antiqued. This is a beautiful gold velvet ribbon down this side here with a little bit of thread, and that's a really lovely antique button. Just a card here, some coffee dyed journal paper with this beautiful gardening book. Talks about these different herbs. Some nature images here. This is a pretty top tuck with a journal card and just some coffee dyed paper there. I've used some cheesecloth underneath this Tim Holtz die cut. It's more of that stenciling. Some vintage stenographer's notebook here, and some book page. Pretty lady images there. This lace tab and roast Cornish game hen. Nice recipe for that. This is just a double fold over tuck with just a little digital journaling card. Just done some collage and napkin decoupage on there. It's a fold over, so there's a tuck on this side as well with just a collage with a label, time check, and another musical ephemera piece. Loved this bird, this hawk. Yeah, pastoral images. This is just a fold over journaling paper. I've just done some napkin decoupage on that. Folded it back. And this vintage postcard, Deerfield Valley, Mohawk Trail in Massachusetts. Vintage postcard there. And I'm just clipping it over the side of this paper. Lots of room for journaling. I love making writing journals. This is just gardening page. Beautiful image. I loved the colors and it matched this beautiful lady here. This is another one of those lost and found top banner tuck. Index card, recipe card, and just some pretty vintage yellow notebook paper in that pocket. See, I don't want it to get smashed. There we go. Just done. This is really pretty gold. Oh gosh, I forget what this fabric is called. It's not chiffon. because it's pebbly. It's got texture to it, but can't think. Anyway, it's pretty. Then just a little collage over here on this page. Pretty top tuck with that rose hedge. The ephemera is largely the same in both books. This is, I think this came from Kara Brandon Creations. It's one of her digitals. It's pretty. Some of that really pretty hand crocheted lace trim along this edge. Vintage index card and just a little note paper that's vintage. There's plenty of room for you to write or do other journaling. The other side of that paper. It's a little side pocket, and I've made this journaling card to fit right there. Here's the last signature. As one of these, this was part of the Lost and Found bundle, and I've used it along the edge there. Here is the other of the peekaboo pockets that I made the other day. There's a video how to do that if you want to check. Just scroll down in the list. It was the last video, I think, that I made. This is a pretty pocket. It's got room in there at the side, and then it's got a piece of Monopoly money, vintage, this beautiful stained index card, and then this is just a little tiny matchbox type notepad. Here's this. These are both pockets. This is also a tuck spot. This pretty tag. The happiest moment. Beautiful vintage stationery. It's very textured, and oh my gosh, it would be so lovely to write on that. Yeah, and the last page with this one of the Lost and Found side cluster tucks and a little Rolodex, vintage Rolodex card. And there's the back page, the back cover, and there's the elastic closure. It's a close-up of those beads. I really like this one. Well, I like both of them. They're both really chunky. I love the way the sides turned out. Thanks for being with me. This journal will be listed on my Etsy just as soon as I can get the videos uploaded. Thanks for being with me today. I'll see you again.